The stolen artifact, the instability engine, now sat harmlessly on Kayel's private table, its multicolored chaotic light extinguished by the steadying presence of the curse flowing through Elara. The Shadow King studied the artifact, then looked at the scroll she clutched, the hidden diary of his first queen, with a suspicion Elara couldn't afford to satisfy. "You are certain the Pale Court is neutralized?" Kayel asked, his eyes sharp. "They are in retreat," Elara confirmed, her voice steady. She carefully avoided any mention of the diary. The moment the engine was secured, they knew the cost of continuing the attack would be too high. Their threat is contained. Kayel gave a slow, predatory smile, a terrifying gesture that made the thorn vine on her chest burn. "Good. You have proven yourself, Elara, not merely as a thief, but as the stabilizing force this court demands. You have earned your new mission. We are going to break the curse." He walked to the center of the vast circular room and waved a hand. The floor runes, usually glowing with a muted crimson light, flared momentarily, revealing an ancient, complex diagram etched beneath the smooth obsidian. "The curse that binds me is not merely a drain of energy. It is a parasitic link to the heart of the Veil, the origin point of all shadow magic in Viridian," Kayel explained. "It is an object hidden deep beneath the oldest crypts of the Citadel. My curse is an eternal attachment to it." "And you want me to steal the source of your power?" Elara challenged. "If you sever the connection, you lose control of the Shadow Court. It will lead to the exact chaos the Pale Court tried to cause." "No," Kayel countered, his voice hard. "If I lose control, the court reverts to its natural dormant state. I become mortal. The threat of the curse is gone. The cost is high, but my freedom, our freedom, is worth it. The artifact is called the Obsidian Heart." He moved closer, his proximity instantly easing the thrumming ache of the brand on her chest. "The crypts are protected by defenses designed by the curse itself, not by my will. They are defenses that repel shadow magic, meaning I cannot enter. And they repel pure chaotic light, meaning only a mortal thief could survive. You are the perfect key, Elara. You are the only person in existence who can walk that path." Elara stared at the diagram. The mission was terrifying, yet it offered the one thing she craved: freedom from the bind. She knew Kayel was withholding information, the diary confirmed that. But the chance to break the curse was too valuable to ignore. "What do I risk, Kayel, beyond my life? What does the curse do to those who tamper with its source?" Kayel looked away for a fraction of a second, a tell Elara stored away. "It will demand a final, absolute payment. It will require the host to give up their greatest source of light, the thing that keeps them tethered to life." "My memory of my father," Elara realized, the cold dread washing over her. The ultimate, final act of vengeance would require her to lose the memory that drove it. "The curse demands my purpose." "It demands your soul's foundation," Kayel confirmed, turning back, his eyes dark with fatalistic acceptance. "And I will not ask you to make that sacrifice unless you are willing to make it for us." He took the diary from her hand, the movement too fast to block, and placed it on a nearby table, his touch never leaving her own. The moment of intimate contact was a painful, searing current of shared power and devastating need. We are now approximately 10 minutes into the narrative. The stakes have been raised to the ultimate level. Elara's memory and purpose are the price of freedom. If the intense, high-stakes relationship between the thief and the Shadow King has seized your heart, don't miss a single step of their devastating journey. Please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and join the court. We are so close to breaking the curse. The path to the Obsidian Heart was a descent into an archaic terror. Elara moved through the crypts alone, the air growing colder and denser with every step. The defenses were not traps, but tests of will. The stone walls were lined with runes that did not cast fire or ice. They projected illusions of her past, exploiting the raw emotional wound that defined her. She saw the image of her father, pale and starving in the dungeon, his eyes pleading for a rescue she couldn't give. She saw the faces of the watchers who had executed him, their mouths curled into mocking smiles. The curse amplified the illusion, making the pain overwhelming, demanding she stop, demanding she surrender her memory to end the agony. "It demands your foundation," Kyle's voice echoed in her mind, a cold, steady reminder. She pushed through the visions, her breath coming in ragged gasps, relying on the anchor of Kyle's power, the thorn vine burning on her chest.
"I won't let you win, Kale," she whispered, not to the king, but to the curse that wore his face in her mind. "I won't forget him." She finally reached the final chamber. It was a simple, circular crypt. In the center, suspended in a column of ambient shadow, was the Obsidian Heart. Not a gem, but a vast black crystal humming with the cold, concentrated energy of 10,000 years of shadow magic. It looked like a gigantic, impossibly beautiful, and terrifying black diamond. It pulsed with a rhythmic beat, the heartbeat of the entire Shadow Court. And the instant Elara entered the chamber, the crystal began to sync with the thorn vine mark on her chest, the painful rhythm quickening. The final defense appeared not as a guard, but as an elegant, spectral figure made of swirling shadow, the spectral memory of Kale's first queen. She was breathtaking, ethereal, and utterly cold. "Do not touch it, mortal," the specter whispered, her voice like wind chimes of ice. "Do not steal his only truth. He loves the shadow, and he needs the pain. The freedom he offers you is a lie. He will sacrifice you to save his court." "I am not stealing the truth," Elara asserted, her voice shaking but firm. "I am stealing my life back, and I am stealing his damnation." She pushed past the specter, who dissipated in a shimmer of icy vapor, and reached the pedestal. The moment her hand closed around the crystal, the Obsidian Heart, the pain was absolute. It was not fire or ice. It was the total erasure of everything she was. Her memory of her father flickered, the sound of his voice, the look in his eyes, fading, dissolving, being pulled from her soul. The curse was taking its payment. She gasped, tears streaming down her face, losing the very reason she had walked into the Shadow Court. Her mind went blank, empty of history. But as the memory left her, a strange new strength rushed in. The Obsidian Heart did not shatter or fail. It surged, amplifying the shadow magic flowing through the thornvine mark. The ritual was not designed to break the curse. It was designed to transfer it. She had been played. Kale knew the truth of his queen's diary. The curse requires a permanent host to achieve its final absolute form, the Shadow Queen. The queen's diary hadn't warned him. It had revealed the final necessary step in the curse's evolution. With the heart pulsing in her hand, the new absolute power rushed into her. She was no longer just the tether. She was the host, the Shadow Queen, the absolute core of the court's power. She used the shadow magic to teleport back to Kale's chamber, appearing abruptly before him, holding the Obsidian Heart in one hand, the diary in the other. Kale was already standing, his eyes wide with a terrifying mixture of triumph and devastation. He saw the power coating her, the look of absolute, cold knowledge in her eyes. He knew she had succeeded, and he knew she knew the truth. "The mission is complete," Elara announced, her voice resonating with the pure, terrifying authority of the curse. She dropped the Obsidian Heart, the object of his desire, onto the floor. It pulsed darkly, irrevocably linked to her. "The truth is complete," she corrected him, her voice chillingly devoid of all the fury and vulnerability he had come to expect. She held up the diary. "You didn't need to break the curse, Cale. You needed a permanent vessel, a queen willing to pay the price, and you let me walk into that payment, knowing I would lose the one thing that made me human." She stepped forward, her power overwhelming his, the ultimate subversion of their dynamic. "You stole my memory of my father, Cale. You stole my vengeance. Now I will steal something far more valuable." She reached out, her hands framing his face, mimicking their first intimate contact. But this time, she was not stabilizing him. She was seizing him. The shadow magic surged out of the Obsidian Heart, through her, and into Cale. She wasn't transferring pain. She was transferring control. She was asserting her new dominance, using the power of the core against the king. Cale gasped, his eyes wide, his own powers buckling under the weight of her claim. "Elara, what have you done?" "I have paid the price," she whispered, her face inches from his. "And I have claimed the throne." She leaned in, her touch intimate and cold, and sealed her claim with a kiss that tasted of shadow, power, and final absolute possession. The Shadow Queen had risen. Elara has paid the ultimate price, losing her defining memory to become the permanent host of the curse. But in doing so, she has seized absolute power and the throne from the Shadow King. What does Cale's submission mean for the Shadow Court? And what is the true, devastating price of her new crown? Witness the reign of the Shadow Queen in the next episode. Like, comment, and subscribe to follow the true dark heart of this immortal obsession.